Welcome, fellow trackers. I'm Nick Metzger, and my partner here, my co-host in crime, is none other than Mr. Sean Abbott. We are so very happy you have joined us this week, because we are going to break down, as you can see on this screen, every little bitty inch and corner and dust mite of the Xbox showcase, and a little bit of the Direct as well. We are so excited you are here, but before we dive too deep into the realms of Xbox, how's life, Mr. Sean Abbott?
Life was good until about 45 minutes ago when I suddenly showed my age. I was laid on the bed. I was talking to Lindsay because she'd gone up to bed. I was laid on my front, just chatting away, and then I went to get up. And I don't know if it's the position I've been laid in or like anything that I've done during the day, but all of a sudden I ended up on the floor in pain. I was like, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I think I just locked my back up. I currently have 2 pillows behind me to try and stop my back from slouching because it's very painful. But other than that, it's great.
I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
I'm just old.
Yep. Listen, all you youngins out there that are listening to this, when you were like younger, you get injuries because you like jumped wrong while trying to make a slam dunk. Or you like going for that final catch and you just reached a little too far and you like twisted an ankle or something, something crazy and awesome. Buddy, at some time, you're just going to get out of bed and that's going to be the thing that does it. You're going to be like, what the hell just happened? Like, how did this happen? I got out of bed. That's what I did, damn it.
Yeah. I'm one decent sneeze away from being paralyzed here. I mean, that's it. If at any point during the show you see me sneeze and I just fall over, then that's it. I'm done. I'm out. Sorry.
I need Lindsay's number so I can text her and be like, you need to come drag your husband off the floor. I'm pretty sure he's paralyzed. Oh man, I know.
I have taken some of Lindsay's pain relief. She had spinal surgery because she actually slipped a disc in her back, and I have taken 2 of those. So I'm kind of expecting by the time we get to the end of the show, I'll make absolute 0 sense. Mm-hmm. No, I'm kidding. I'm fine with those. They're not the strongest, but they're a bit stronger than paracetamol. So they should see me through.
Yeah, I get you. It's funny, we both had something happen, like right before the show. I'm like, hey, so if you guys were like, dang, that was a long starting soon segment. So like we start the starting soon music, and then usually I go get a drink, and Sean does whatever when he can actually stand. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back, Sean. I just getting a drink, and then all of a sudden I like get up, and there's this tinkle spray of water coming out from, because I podcast in the basement, and I'm like, that's not supposed to be there. Sure enough, our shower is leaking, and so yeah, I had to go try to just at least herd children away from that. So yeah, you're probably going to hear some shower noises because I usually tell the kids not to use the shower closest to the podcast room down here, but that's now not possible since our other shower's broken. So you'll hear that. And now I have to fix a shower at some point. So that's fun. Yay.
Just so happens though that you do have some expertise and craft in plumbing and building houses and stuff like that. So
Well, yeah, that's true. But still, nobody likes to do it. Especially, like, I feel kind of dumb because I just did it like 3 months ago. So you're like, well, I don't know what my expertise really is. I thought I just fixed that problem like 3 months ago. So I get to do it again.
So how's the summer holidays going anyway? Let's go with positive. How's the summer break going for the kiddos?
That's a good idea. Well, right now it's like it feels like we're on the launch pad to, I mean, even though they've been like on summer now for almost 2 weeks, but like, so Ariel's had her birthday. Her birthday's June 8th. She's like, she was super pumped about that. But now it's like, this is the week. Like next week, we're Disney, and they're just, everybody's kind of like on edge. We got our fun little wristbands yesterday, and everybody's just kind of like, everybody wants to just like be there. Like that's all. And I mean, I'll admit, even me, I wasn't like super excited at initially for this. I was just kind of like, sure, we're gonna do it. The kids will love it. Let's do a thing. We're gonna do a lot of planning, blah blah blah. But now even I'm a little like, all right, I'm kind of pumped to be like, I want to see what Disney World's all about. I haven't been there since I was
if you do not come back for the first episode after Disney wearing Mickey Mouse ears, I will not be happy with you.
I'll be all decked out with like a goofy hat and Disney ears and all the stuff. So,
Goofy hat would be awesome.
Yeah,
I love Goofy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but no, this week is Taylor Swift week in our house. We go Thursday evening. We drive to Liverpool, which is a good 2 hours away from here. Not as far as where you're traveling for Disney, but 2 hours is a long time in the UK.
Sure.
You can get from top to bottom in 10 hours. So yeah, it's Taylor Swift week. So drive the girls up tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Thursday evening. Stop over, and then they're gonna glam themselves up.
Uh-oh. Sean, come back to me. Well, it looks like, folks, we are having a bit of an issue with Mr. Sean. Let me see if I can solve a problem here. Sean is gone. Sean is gone. Let me see. See if I can find. Okay, so we're working.
I'm back.
Okay.
I don't fully understand what happened there because it only seemed to be Zoom that had an issue there.
Yeah, it was only Zoom. Yeah. No, the recording was working. Everything was working. It's like you just dropped out of Zoom for some reason. Should we not?
Maybe don't share that screen.
I was just going to say, do we not share the screen, Sean? We had a fun thing planned. I was sharing my screen for Sean. We were going to kind of watch the video together, the showcase. I got it all like taken out, but maybe not.
For the people that are watching, can you share it to them via?
Yeah, I can show it to just them. That's fine.
Yeah, do that because I do as I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Morgan Thomas, for following. By the way, we go through a technical glitch and somebody follows us. How awesome is that? Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're great. I was just thinking that.
I can see. As always, I always have like the I'll show you here. I always have the stream on to make sure that we're running well. Take it off there.
You'll just be like 20 minutes behind us. No, I'm just kidding. But you'll just be a little few seconds.
I'll be a couple of seconds behind, but as we're talking about, I can remember most stuff that's gone off.
Sure, yeah, I'm sure you can. You have a way better memory than me. Okay, I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh,
so anyway, as I was saying, I drive them up. So they get themselves all glammed up Friday morning. So let's read that back. They get themselves all glammed up Friday morning. They have outfits planned. They have been making wristbands because things that they do at the Taylor Swift concert is apparently you go with like one arm full of wristbands, and by the time you finish, you should have the other arm full of wristbands and the other one empty because you swap and change to kind of do all this thing. So Lindsay's been making wristbands, Jay's been making wristbands. They have bought a load of wristbands as well from people. So they're going to go with all that. I dropped them off. I think it's at Anfield Stadium, which is Liverpool. If for all the football fans out there, that's Liverpool, the football club's stadium. So that's where I'm going to drop them off, Anfield. Drop them off there, and then I think I'm going to take, depending on how my back feels Friday, I'm going to go karting, and then I found the gym I use is Pure Gym, so I'm going to then tootle off and find myself a Pure Gym. I'm going to go to the gym for a little bit, and then I'm going to go back into Liverpool Centre and either mill around. There's the gaming place that I was going to go and check out. I found where that is, and I can park near it, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll pick them up, and then we drive home Saturday. We're going to stop off at a big shopping center on the way back. And then Friday's Father's Day. So we're going to go to the cinema. We're going to go watch If, which is the new movie about imaginary friends with Ryan Reynolds. Mm-hmm. Can't wait for that. He's my favorite. Well, I can't say that because he's really not. He's my favorite Canadian actor, but he's not my favorite Canadian. My favorite Canadian is Bruce because I love Bruce.
Oh, shout out to Bruce.
He's gonna. I'm going to shout every podcast. I'm going to find a way of shouting him out. But yeah, if you're a big fan of Star Wars, by the way, go check him out. He's got his first episodes out for his Star Wars Dad's podcast.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
go check that out. And then that's kind of like that takes us to Monday. So it takes us to next week. So
yeah,
doesn't bode well for playing all the new games. Like Callisto Project comes out tomorrow, and I'm super excited for that. And I don't think I'm going to get to it because it's going to be mission clean the house because the mother-in-law's coming to stop in the house and look after Logan and Emily. So,
do you know what the hell you're doing next week? By the way. Are you just gonna single man this, or what do you like? What's your?
If I'm gonna single man it, it won't be live,
okay,
which is an issue. So I don't know. I will take the next couple. I will think about that over the next couple of days, and I will figure something out and let you know. We could just we're either going to skip a week, or we're going to have an audio only one, or it'll just be if it's an audio only, it'll just be a short firing off news and stuff like that because it's very hard. And as you know, as you've done it when I slept through one recently.
I did it one other time too when you planned to be gone. And I too was like, I'm going to invite somebody on. I'm really going to do that. And then I'm like, oh, it's 2 days away. I guess I'm not. I guess I'll just sit here and talk.
Yeah. And the issue I have is, and I should have by now, we've been doing this for a minute. I should have upgraded systems, but unfortunately I had it'd be nice to make money from this to do that, but all my pennies are coming from my in real life job kind of go on keeping everybody else happy.
That's right. You got families, man. That's part of the gig. So no, that's okay. So stay tuned. Sean will let you know what's going on next week.
Yep. So which takes me to the housekeeping side of things. Actually, it's a really nice segue to go into things. If you keep an eye on the GPT gaming news X site or anywhere across all the social media platforms, that's how you can get in touch with us as the show. If you've got any thoughts, any questions, you can join the public Discord, which is in the show notes. It's going to be in all the podcast notes. It's all there at the bottom. There is a link to it. And we've got over 2,000 members in there, and people are currently chatting about everything they're super excited about from the showcase. It's fantastic. It's a great place to be. And it's a safe place as well. So if you ever feel like you just need to open up and chat, feel free to do so. If you're listening to this via your audio podcast of choice, please go to however you leave a review or a rating on there. Give us a thumbs up, give us 3 or 4 stars, give us 5 stars if you really like listening to me ramble on about how you should give us stars. Helps us grow, helps us reach more fans like yourself. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show, we wouldn't be talking about all these awesome games that came out with the showcase if we didn't talk about Xbox Game Pass itself. If you love Game Pass and you love the show and you want to show your support, head to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass from the Xbox.com website. Not only will you be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker show, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going out there with 13? Was it 13? 6, 9, 18 games coming day one. Absolute bangers of games coming day one to the service in the next 2 years as well. And we'll talk about more about that when we get to the feature story. But sign up to whatever label you desire. PC Game Pass, Core, or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play it your own way by using the code in the chat and show notes. Helps us grow, helps us reach more amazing fans like yourselves. And let's dive into the feature story in the X feed and break it all down.
Okay, Sean, this is the this is the X feed. We are gonna jump straight into the feature story. Sean, ironically, the same thing happened during our live show where we were going to screen share. So I set up special events to screen share, and then I was like, "Oh, we're not going to do that. I'm going to have to make these windows on the fly. Sorry about that."
Oh, so you're now making windows on the fly.
Yeah, so now I kind of have to make windows on the fly. It's just really funny.
Right, well, tell you what. While you're doing that and everybody's watching your wizardry at work in the background, I will talk a little bit about what happened. We had an episode last week, if you've listened to it, where we sat down and we kind of pitched our predictions to each other, our hopes, our dreams from our Xbox Gaming Christmas. And Phil kind of delivered. He kind of gave us what we asked for. He gave us hints of things that we asked for. He also kind of crapped all over a lot of things that we wish we were going to get.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
That's for sure.
It was a great Sunday. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sitting there and watching it with you. We've done it for the last 4 years now. We've done it with Animal Crossing stuff, and we've now done it with the Xbox stuff. It never fails to amaze me that the way that they have now gone about the showcase is a hell of a lot better. I think that sizzle reel style thing where
it's perfect.
It's 30-40-second video. Which some of them seemed really long this year, but a decent length of video, give us the highlights, give us this, finish off on a big strong, here's the card, here's the date, the services that it's coming to kind of thing. All that kind of stuff is really good with the quick hop in, hop out of big names. So we had Phil broke it down from after the first drop, and we also had Sarah Bond come in and she kind of gave us all the hardware information, and Matt Booty came and kind of cleared some of the air around Perfect Dark, which was very nice. So there was all that, and I can still see the Nick still building away. So what else from the show? I haven't yet watched the full Black Ops 6 kind of bit afterwards. I still need to get around to that, but we'll talk more of why I haven't got to that when we get to the bottom of the showcase stuff, because that's where we're going to really hit heavy on the Black Ops 6 stuff. I'm now starting to run out of things to say.
No, you're fine. So let's just dive in, and I'm almost there. I'm having some issues with this thing listening to what I want to do.
So yeah, it opened up strong. My hopes were that it was going to come in with Doom, which was my prediction. It was going to come in with Doom, and we was going to hit hard, hit fast, and kind of break them all there. But it didn't come with Doom, but it did hit hard, it did hit fast with the Black Ops 6 world premiere. So we had, was it George Bush Senior? Was it Junior?
Senior. It's Senior.
It was Senior. So it opened up with George Bush Senior giving his a start of his presidential kind of speech, and then it broke into gameplay action with flashbacks to other historical events that was happening at the same time. We're going to see this as Nick's finished building the screens. He'll probably roll the scissor roll.
We're going now. We're back.
There we go.
So I mean, nobody could have predicted that Black Ops was coming next. I mean, it because we all knew that there's a direct at the end. So why would there be? Why would you start with it? I never would have thought they would have started with it.
I think it was more of to grab everybody's attention. It's for people that were maybe coming late, that they came and saw that it was still on a bit of a countdown. I think it was to kind of wait for everybody to kind of get in and be able to watch it if people are having issues with buffering and stuff like that. We're coming in late. Don't miss the second video. We'll show them what they already know what's coming, and we'll give them a big taste for that, and then cut to Phil and talk about stuff before then rolling into the main gist of it.
Yeah, So, do we want to talk about the whole? Do we want to talk about the direct? Well, you can't talk about direct. You want me to talk about the direct while we're in this Black Ops period?
Yeah, you can. You can talk about it. And if there's anything that I have like previous knowledge about, I'll jump in. And then I'll explain why.
Okay, so I think this game looks freaking amazing, and anybody can tell you I'm not like all about the Call of Duty or any of that, quite frankly. But this game looks fantastic in my opinion. I love the movement, like, and I love the fact that Sean. One of the things they mentioned in the direct was, hey, we want to take from driving sims the idea of like you don't have to be great, like you can tweak the braking system to be for the most awesome person or for the person who really doesn't have any idea of the controls. We don't want the controls to get in the way of you having a good time. And so they have this whole part where you can like control of like the omnidirectional system. Like you can have it be a whole button sequence of a bunch of buttons, or you can just say, you know what, please don't make me deal with that. Just make my character do the right thing so that I can focus on shooting. Like, what a great idea. Like that is like an amazing idea. So,
and it's not only leaping forwards now, is it? Like they've taken away from, you can leap backwards and you can leap left and right, I believe. So you used to be able to like run and hold the crouch button to go prone, and like you'd dive through a window or you'd slide to a crouch position. My belief is now that is in every direction that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in every direction. You can dive, slide, you can do all that. You can put them together into like this really cool combo of things. And like I said, I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, there is no way, like as I'm watching this, I'm like, this looks great. There is no way that I'm going to be able to remember these button combos to make this guy do all these things. But then they just say, hey, listen, that's okay. We don't want that to be part of the problem for you. So let's not make it part of the problem. If you don't want to deal with it, don't deal with it.
All right, which is great. I like that you're gonna have the noobs to college, which we're gonna have a lot of those. Game Pass is introducing the fact that there's going to be a lot of new players come day one. Like, you know, all the kids whose parents kind of get them Game Pass because, you know, it's what they've asked for, and they can't be too bad games on there. You know, I'm only paying $11.99 a month. Yeah, and they're gonna get this day one. So you're gonna have noobs, and then obviously you're going to have seasons and stuff like that. And it's great that they're kind of like they're giving everybody, like I said, giving everybody a chance to tweak the game how they want. So.
Yeah. I think that's super exciting. My one thought. Well, one, they were talking about going back to an old Prestige style. I didn't really know what that meant. Are you excited about that? Do you care about that?
Yeah, that's one of the things. Again, I've listened to bits of people that are breaking it down. I get a lot of my gaming feels from TikTok. So we have so TikTok for me is funny cat videos, lots of gaming stuff, and lots of skating stuff. Obviously, at the moment, it's heavy on the gaming stuff because we're in the middle of the summer showcase of everything going off. So there's lots of people that are like showing snippets of everything. And the one that I keep getting is the prestige system. So that getting to a level 100, restarting it, and getting back to a level 100, and, you know, unlocking, going all the way through it until you've done it 10 times and unlocking Prestige Master. And then it goes to the current Prestige kind of thing where you then have to get to a level 1,000, I believe. And you get what's called the classified. Is it classified? That's the word they were using.
That's the word. Well, I thought he was saying that you get classified, like you get a classified perk, but maybe that's what it's called. I don't know.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that the fact that they brought that prestige system back is ace, because I loved getting all the way to like a level 100 or 99, and then you get that last level up, and it was like, do you want to start all over again? And you kind of like, you can sit, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Start all over again, but you get that satisfaction factor of like when you when you finish a match and stuff like that, for the first few levels, it's constantly like, boom, you've unlocked, boom, you've unlocked, boom, you've unlocked. You know, like, yes,
Yeah.
give me more. And it draws you in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what people are excited for, because you get that like satisfaction reward from restart.
That's cool. Also, so one of the things, there was this conversation about that the pre-launch of, or the preload, or the preview window of Black Ops 6 was 300 gigabytes. They're not giving you the actual footage or the actual amount. I'm sorry, but it's not 300 gigabytes. That much we know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm gonna say, I said that to Jay because she was like super excited, but then my biggest worry that Jay is not gonna be able to have this because she's not on the Series S or Series X. So I think there might be a bit of a new console coming her way at some point soon. Which I'll look at the hardware later on. We'll talk about
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
And I'll look at those, and I might be able to bag her a cheap Series S original and stick up hard drive in it. So I told her that, and she's like, "Oh God, that's going to take forever to download." And she's like, "I'm going to have to clear out so many games." But I'm assuming that might have included any Warzone stuff that might be attached to it. And I know they didn't touch on it because you've already given me that tidbit that they kind of teased and joked about the Warzone stuff. But yeah, I'm assuming that was because it's tying in all of the Warzone as an installation. So.
Yeah, so the sizes as shown include the full installations of Modern Warfare 2, 3, and Warzone in all relevant content packs, including all localized languages combined, which is not representative of a typical player install. So that's what you're getting with 300 gigs. They didn't say what the download size of just the Black Ops 6 is yet. We don't know, but they said they'll get to that later on. My only other thing is there is an upgrade to this, Sean. There is a Game Pass. You can get a little upgrade for $30. But I will say, I'm always a sucker for an early release. I will say, the early release is not in this upgrade pack.
Oh, so even if you buy the upgrade pack, you are going to have to sit and wait and chill until day one, like everybody else.
Like everyone else, you get the Hunters versus Hunted Operator Pack, 4 Operator skins, a Mastercraft collection, 5 Mastercraft weapons, Black Cell reward, Season 1 Battle Pass, with a 20-tier skip, and then 12 gobble gums of high rarities for zombies. So you get a bunch of stuff, but you don't get my baby, which is the one that I always want, which is an early release. I don't know why I'm a sucker for it. I understand I'm a sucker. I own it, but it is what it is. So
what I do like, and I will say this about it, is it's there on my Game Pass screen next. I think it's pre-downloadable already and pre-installable now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it already tells me that I own it, and I'm like, look at that, I own it already. That's easy.
That is pretty cool. That feels fun, doesn't it? For sure.
Yep.
So that's your Black Ops. I'm excited for it. October 25th, as Sean has said, it's a Game Pass game. Phil didn't mince any words about that, which is exciting.
Nope.
And
he didn't, to the point where he didn't mince his words, to the point where I believe what he says is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be the first Call of Duty title from the franchise that you get on Game Pass. So that back catalog idea has just gotten, for me, completely out of the window. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that's silly. I don't disagree with you. So I'm not arguing whether you're right or wrong. You very much could be right. I don't really have an opinion on it just yet. What I will say is if you are right, I think it's silly, because it's, especially if you listen to that direct, Sean, they keep talking about how, hey, this character is from Black Ops 2 and this character is from Cold War. Is it Cold War? Cold War. And,
Cold War.
And we're doing these callbacks and we're tying in and we're doing these things. And it's like, what a great time to be like, hey, we're tying in. And guess what? If you want to know the full of a story or the extent of where these guys were, then boom, here's 2 and go. I don't know. Like, just, you don't got to give us everything, but that would be a tie-in that would make a lot of sense when you're talking about having these story arcs that arc over multiple games. Then give us the games that you own on Game Pass. Why not? Like, just drum up the stuff. I don't know.
And yeah, it's a big miss, but I may also think that there could still be some issues around now, like the FTC and the CMA kind of stopping them from automatically putting that back catalog there. There must have been something said like, "Hey, you cannot do that yet until you have
Maybe.
released the next title. You cannot put that onto your cloud gaming service and be, you know, okay, we're not okay with that yet." So there could be lots of things. There could be lots of things, or it could just be a a really good marketing ploy in terms of let's let everybody see how many people join to play Black Ops 6, and then if lots of people are joined to play Black Ops 6, let's drop like all the other titles and see how many more people come. So.
Yep. Well, after Black Ops intro, they did not cool down, not at all. Sean got the baby he wanted straight into Doom Dark Ages. Man, you had to be pretty excited about that.
Not only did they like give me everything I wanted, but they gave me Doom Guy Captain America.
Yeah, that's
that shield. That shield is sweet.
Yep. We were talking about weapons a couple weeks ago, man. Like, who thought they'd take the chainsaw and add it to a shield? Yep, they're super creative. I think he looks super sleek. I think they gave him just enough Dark Ages. Like, you didn't lose the Doom guy by any means, but it's just the right amount of Dark Ages, kind of playing with the like mythology a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
The spiked shoulders and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, instead of it being green and stuff, it looked very black and sleek.
Yep.
Yeah. And the music was amazing. That's why I focused on a lot. I focused on the music a lot. I was trying to listen if it's all just Mick Gordon or if there's some other influences in there. I'm kind of hoping that Phil has watched the podcast and listened and going, "Hey, look, yeah, we need to get Alex Terrible in and work with Mick Gordon." But the music was fantastic.
Here's Sean's Captain America right there, throwing the sword. I didn't notice the one time they're shooting bits of skull. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So rather than like chugging lead around, he's throwing skull fragments around. I noticed that, which I thought was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's
there seems to be a lot more in terms of movement in this game as well. It seems very, very vast as well. Like some of those areas where he was throwing the shield around literally looks like a scene from Avengers Endgame for size-wise of a battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing that sword around, charging through. I loved that the Hell Knight was there with a big sword and shield. Everything about it, I was just super excited. I want to see how it goes. And the flying of the dragon, I want to know how that works because we have never seen anything like that in a Doom game.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I was going to ask that same question. It's funny because Acid TK says, Doom kind of reminds me of Turok, Seed of Evil.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think
the only thing I didn't like is it's not coming out until next year.
Yeah, 2025, Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, PC. So, I will say you're seeing the step up. That's one thing I will say about a lot of these games. Like, they're understanding how to use the bits and the Terra flips and all the fun stuff. Like, it's there. Like, the graphics are next level, but with that comes like this Xbox Series X and S. Like, we're not going back anymore. This is it's just generation or no generation.
Yeah, they're utilizing the Unreal Engine. I think they've had time to play with it now, which is why when we talk about games for this year to games for next year and what we actually got that's playable for 2024 to what we're going to be getting in 2025, my tidbit for that is I think a lot of this is they're having to still work with the Unreal Engine and get it to go across both consoles and deliver, because you do not want to play this game and it be bouncing around because it'll ruin any flow of playing the game. So
sure. Yeah. So 2025, no hard date. Not a lot of hard dates in this deal, but 2025 no hard date isn't really a big deal. I wouldn't expect it, to be honest. It's just too far away at this point. So, and then next, I'm trying to do both here. State of Decay.
State of Decay 3. This came as a surprise. I completely forgot about State of Decay as a game, if I'm completely honest. It'd been a while since we had 2. I forgot that I played it. It's sat here now. Currently, my TV's telling me
I
that my
saw you were
controller's
playing it.
disconnected. Yeah, I said I would. I said I would.
Mhm.
I would go back to some of the games that kind of dragged me back to that. Starfield was going to be one of them, but I couldn't quite face figuring out Starfield again. So I went back to State of Decay because I can't remember anything from that game. And it's true, I can't remember. I couldn't remember how it started. I can't remember the controls. I've kind of stumbled along myself. But
Mhm.
what I do remember is I enjoyed the survival crafting kind of thing where you have it like going around. You're not really doing much crafting as such, apart from when you need to do like craft medicines and things like that and build parts of your base. But you're doing a lot of like sneaking around, scouting for materials and stuff. So
I'm going to tell you this, Sean. I mean, if we could play this game together, I could play it with you. Just so you know. Like,
yeah, well, I think it's very much a co-op kind of game. It has that feel to it because you could definitely be playing more than one character. So
yeah, it's not my game to play by myself. I'd be too freaked out. But it's just like when we were playing Redfall. Like, that game
yep.
didn't really freak me out at all when we were playing it together. But then when you left, I was a little like, okay, now I'm all by myself. I'm getting chased by these things. It feels a bit different. So, yeah, I would be down with trying that out. So
I think State of Decay 3 is gonna be like the next pivotal point on co-op zombie style games. I think that's gonna be the new benchmark, where I think like Left 4 Dead always used to be the benchmark and stuff like that for fast action kind of stuff. I think this is going to incorporate fast action, PvE, but multiplayer PvE kind of gameplay. I think this is going to set the bar, and I'm excited that we get that day one. So.
Yeah. So we're getting State of Decay. No date on it at all. Let's see if I could just pop ahead and not lose it. Here we go. State of Decay.
What they do need to do though is that tiny little dinosaur keychain needs to be something that you can purchase in real life because it's cute as a button. And I think they would, for people out there that like to collect things, that'd be a big one.
So that's what do I want to say? That's customizable in the game though, right? Like I'm not playing State of Decay ever. I was listening to a podcast and they said you could you get to make your own keychain what you want it to be, what animal and blah blah blah. Correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
okay.
I don't think I got that far with the game. So that's one of the reasons why I've gone back. I want to play it and kind of get the idea of the lore and what you can do and all the quirks and stuff in the game. So when I go into State of Decay 3, I kind of know what I need to be looking out for and doing. So
for sure. Next up, EA drops Dragon Age Veilguard. This is supposed to be out fall of this year. No Game Pass. Go for it.
Yeah, we didn't get much gameplay during the Xbox showcase, but it did later on get a massive deep dive into gameplay. So,
yep. So if you're interested in this and you want more, go search that. Was it on EA's YouTube? Where was it?
I think it was on EA, so it'll be in their direct. And
yeah.
I think
okay.
They've done a really good job of breaking down each individual one and giving it its own YouTube video as well. So.
Have you ever played Dragon Age before, Sean?
Nope.
Me neither.
It's not one of those that, I don't play many Dragon games. I think the last big Dragon game I played was Skyrim. So
I kind of figured you hadn't, because I was thinking, is this Dragon Age? Is it? Could be. It might be. I wasn't sure until I saw the big dragon at the end. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that dragon. Right there, actually. And so, yeah, but I hadn't either. I never really played one. I just remember him on the box art or whatever, the placard. The dragon with the horns.
A horny dragon.
Horny dragon. Don't want to hang out with a horny dragon. And next... I'm having fun here.
Yeah. Next that came along, we got an insight to what's coming in the future for Starfield, and we got the Shattered Space DLC kind of gameplay and the insight to what that was going to look like. Which, when I was watching it, I was like, oh wow, I need to go back to Starfield. I need to go back and finish it. And then like as I sat there and thought about it and looked at the install size and remembered where I got to and how confused I was with the shipbuilding, and then I'll have a shit ton more of learning to do again. And I was like, I don't really have the time for that.
I didn't have the heart to ever uninstall it. It's still on my S.
Wow.
Yeah, I just didn't have the heart to do it. I'm sure it needs updated like 1,000 times. But yeah, it's still there. It looks a little bit creepier, I would say, the Shattered Space thing. But not in a way. You know, I'm down. I'm down to try it, and I would like to beat the game. I mean, we're talking about DLC here. I'd like to just beat the freaking game at this point. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think I said this during the showcase, I like the fact that they're adding that dark spin to the game, because when I played it, it felt very much like you could get lost in the harvesting and crafting side of things and stray very, very far away from the campaign side of things, which you probably did. I know I definitely did.
Oh, yeah.
And knowing that you're a crafty sim kind of guy, that you would be going down that rabbit hole rather than the main storyline. But yeah, I like the fact that they're adding stuff to this, because they didn't do that with Fallout 4 straight away. They're doing it with Fallout 76, which we'll get onto next. But I like the fact that they're already expanding the storyline and the campaign side of this game.
So this is a 2024, obviously. Actually, this isn't Game Pass. Technically, this is not Game Pass. This, you will have to purchase this if you haven't purchased the I don't know, the pack, the DLC pack, extended pack.
Yeah, you got it with the early access, because you pay for the early access. So I think you get this first one with your early access. I don't think you get anything further than this.
Yeah, I believe so. So it is supposed to be coming out 2024. No date. You know, that has me a tad worried. It's a game that has its what do you want to say? It's
a history of not delivering on time.
Yes, history. Yes, thank you.
I think what we said is launching on time, because I think we played on the fact that they changed the launch date in the cockpit.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, I mean, it's one thing when a game's coming out in 2025 and it doesn't have a launch and it doesn't have a date yet. It just has a year. But when it's only got 6 months left to choose a month, I mean, and you're at the biggest showcase of the year for your company, feels like it should have a year, or I mean a day, or at least a month.
But I think to take away from that, though, that we got tonight you can have, and they dropped the mods, improved melee combat, and a couple of things in an update, which the mods have already brought some interesting things.
You better believe it.
Yeah. If you want to walk around and explore the Starfield universe, you can do dressed as Batman.
Yeah. Or Skywalker. It's up to you. You choose. So, I mean, people are awesome, and they work so fast, and they're so creative, and it's just like, it takes, it's been 2 full days, basically, going on 3, and it's like, they've already done these awesome mods. You guys rock.
I'm waiting for the Thomas the Tank Engine spaceship. You know, when we first thought about the whole spaceship crafting thing, and people were like making giant penises and things like that, and for them to be able to then mod their giant penis into a giant, Thomas the Tank Engine, because anytime somebody starts modding, Resident Evil had like things like that, or SpongeBob, or Rick and Morty. If they could do Rick and Morty, that'd be so funny.
That would be. Yeah. It didn't stop there with Bethesda, though. Fallout 76.
Yep. The Fallout 76 stuff, I can't. This is the only one that I might need to browse through the video just to get a refresh, because I can't remember a right lot about this, other than that we were getting it's playable. You can play a ghoul,
Yeah, you can
which I
play as
thought
a
was pretty cool.
ghoul. Shenandoah Valley was a big deal.
Yep. Oh,
I
because they
don't
had the
play it.
huge map extension, didn't
Okay,
it? So
yeah.
it was saying it was the first map extension that
Yep,
they were
there it
getting.
is. Appalachia's first ever map expansion. So there you go.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's awesome they've added the ghoul.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I don't know how many people. I think it's cool to be a ghoul. I don't know how many people that that really like. I don't know how many people are wanting to do that. It's not a game that I've ever
um,
played, but they had to have a Fallout thing, right? There's just no way they didn't have a Fallout thing.
you'd be surprised the amount of people that are excited
Yeah.
for the fact that they can be a ghoul in Starfield, not Starfield, in Fallout 76.
Well, there's
If
probably
TikTok's anything
ghouls
to go
now
by,
in Starfield too.
yeah. So, but yeah, lots of people were like, "Oh my god, I can do this!" And the fact that you can dress yourself up like Cooper from the Fallout show and play Fallout 76 as a ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I think that's very cool. I think it's very cool to be a ghoul.
but
Oh,
no, again, I like that they're adding stuff to Fallout.
mm-hmm.
76 is interesting. It's as most online kind of games like this, like Elder Scrolls Online, it's kind of daunting to get started in it so late in the game because you don't fully understand what's going on. You don't have people that are kind of exploring the game at the same time as you. If you can get on with somebody that has kind of been playing the game a bit off from day one and is still heavy into it, they can probably guide you in how to get through things quickly. But it's very Fallout is one of those games that takes a lot to play.
Yeah.
So trying to start something that's so big that people have been playing for so long and there's an invested community in it be quite interesting to do. I mean, I tried and failed with 76.
Yeah, I hear it has a pretty nice community. Like when you start up, people are kind of throwing stuff at you. So I've heard that about it. So that's cool. But yeah, it is one. Yeah, I'm with you. Though all those games like Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, those games that have been around for a long time. Yeah, it's just. What do you want
It's
to
only
say?
like
It's just
going
difficult to start.
you try and get into Grand Theft Auto Online now, and that is a very toxic community to be in. You'd just be griefed constantly by people, and you'd find it very difficult to get started unless you teamed up with people that have been in it for a while. So.
Mm-hmm. And then next, a world premiere, Expedition 33.
Yeah, this had a really weird but interesting concept in terms of that you had this female painter that would change the number, and everybody that was the age of that number then vanished and died. Like the bit in Endgame where Thanos clicks his fingers and everybody just kind of turns to dust, or half the population turns to dust. It kind of has the same premise in this, and I was like, wow, did they take some inspiration from Thanos? Yeah, it's a very interesting game.
Yeah, it's a turn-based game coming out 2025. I would say I would agree with you. A very interesting game. Not enough here for me to really make not a decision, but really just know entirely what's happening. I will say it's a turn-based game that has a bit of action to it. Like you can see there's a lot of quick time button presses. Like you're not just like, hey, this guy's doing a thing and then you don't do anything, it really looks like you have to be like paying attention. It looks pretty. It's got a fun art style. Yeah. And it's got an intriguing story. That's what I would say.
Yep. Completely agree.
So it is a play it day one with Game Pass. So there is that.
But no fixed date other than 2025.
Exactly. And then next, man, this one has me excited. It's up there as like game I'm most excited about on show. I don't know if it's the most, but South of Midnight. Man, this art style looks really fun. The movement looks amazing. The story is cool. The writing's cool. Like, I don't know, man. You tell me. I'm trying. I love the whole thing. I was down.
There wasn't anything about it that got me excited. The way you move through the game looked really nice. The comical banter between the the heroine in the story and the frog thing that you were riding on seemed really cool.
Yeah.
I love the accents. I love the whole. Took me right back to Princess and the Frog, like down in the bayou.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
Yeah. That's
deal.
true.
And then just the movement, the art style, everything just looked really nice with it. So, and I like the fact that you have an objective, but it's not kind of on rails. That is you've got to go this way through to it, and kind of thing. You can make your own way. But yeah, I'm excited for this. It's like you said, I think I'm there with Doom, then State of Decay, then this at the moment. But this might overtake State of Decay depending on how my play of State of Decay 2 goes. So
Yeah. I what a great progression too. Like this is one of those games we saw a year ago at last year's showcase, and it was like some weird guy that was all like, I don't know, skeleton like playing a banjo. And it's a lot like Expedition 33, where you're like, I don't know, this could be a cool game. I have no idea what's happening here. Like you just had no idea. And then you see this progression of the story trailer and kind of you get to see gameplay, and you're like, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this game has come a long way, and I get it and I like it. You can see the combat here looks fun. Like I am so all in. Let's do this thing. Like, yeah, I'm ready. The only bummer is I gotta wait a year, but that's okay.
Yep. I mean, I'd say we've got games to play. You've got DLC to play between now and then, and go back and play different games. All the games of, like, say, go back and start State of Decay 2 with me, or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it was a long reveal. Like I'm just sitting here hitting the button trying to get ready for the next thing. I had to move forward like 2 minutes. We watched a couple minutes of it, so it's like, yeah, it was a big deal. Very, very, very exciting. And I do kind of wonder where the guy is. Like, who's the guy that we saw last year with the skeleton finger playing the banjo? You didn't see him at all. He's not even in the picture here at the end. And so I don't know. It's an interesting piece.
I think it's going to be a little bit like when we first saw Fable. We had the British comedian that kind of like the live actor that was then doing something. I think we might not see him, and they've now given that they've given the card to an in-game character. Mm-hmm. I think that's we might be seeing something the same here, but I could be completely wrong. He might be the narrator kind of thing to the story. And
yeah. This was Acid TK's game of the show. We said South of Midnight.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Only because they didn't have any banjo. It's the closest thing he's going to get to a banjo.
That is true. He did say in the very beginning of the podcast, he said, "I will pledge not to mention the bear and the bird again." I was really upset they didn't show up.
The bear and the bird.
Oh, and then on to Blizzard.
World of Warcraft, The War Within, and we got a date for this. This was a hard date, but it was only coming to PC only, and unfortunately, no Game Pass.
Yeah,
unless you get it with PC Game Pass,
right?
It wasn't very clear on that.
Yeah, I don't think you are. I wasn't surprised it's not in Game Pass. This is too popular of a game. To put this in Game Pass, they would lose way too much money, in my opinion. I mean, there's an economics that they have to live by here. I was surprised. I really thought this was going to be a big reveal of a console edition, though. Not a console Game Pass edition. Just like, hey, you can now play on your console if you want to, buy the subscription, which I believe is like $20 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm surprised it's not on console. Blizzard have missed a beat being able to bring this to console, because they would introduce all new people to it and bring a whole new crowd in. But
Yeah.
They must know better. Or it
Yeah,
must
yeah.
not be able to port across the console very well.
That's what I'm wondering. I think it's got, I mean, there's no way that they want to not have that money. It's got to be something where it's just not there's not enough economics to make it happen, or it's just really too difficult to make it happen. One of the two. So, but it is interesting, Sean. $20 a month to play this one game. And we get like all these games on Game Pass for $18. I mean, that's how much people love this game. They're like, yeah, I'll plug $20 a month down so I can keep playing this. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, I think I did some maths based on all the games. I'm sure it was 18 times. I roughed it at 60. Yeah. So yeah, I roughed it around. So the 18 games, rough it at $65 a game. It's over $1,000, 1,080. And you get those games day one. All AAA games as well. This isn't counting for the indies and stuff that we saw that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But these are day and day AAA games, and you're getting them for like a fraction of the price, almost 10% of the price. So, yeah, that's surprising. Just that, and I'm only saying that because you made the point of £20 a month or $20 a month to play one game, or $12.99 a month to play hundreds of games. So
yeah, World of Warcraft. There it is. The War Within. Darkness Calls coming out 8/26/2024. All right, and the next one. I didn't realize this was a remake, Sean. Never played a Metal Gear game, but I'm totally down for this one.
This was not only was it a remake, but the addition of a few things like rolling around in the dirt and blending yourself into the environment was great. But yeah, this game when it first came out was fantastic. Fucking difficult, but fantastic. So the fact that they've gone and made a whole remake with the original voice actor in it and stuff like that as well, I'm super excited for this. Big fan of Metal Gear, have been for a very long time. I've played all of them apart from the one really weird one where it was a bit more like Devil May Cry rather than Metal Gear. It's something to do with Raiden. But you're right, Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3, and Snake Gear, I've played them all and absolutely love them.
So this is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater Remake.
Yeah.
That's the title, my friend. That's the title.
World's longest title. Go to.
So yeah, but it does look very cool. Like I said, I will definitely give it. Well, this isn't a Game Pass game, so I got to see if I want to drop cash on it. I'll have to make that decision. It's a
all I can say is it's tactical espionage with a bit of hunting, crafting, stuff like that. So it's one of those games where you can either go in guns blazing or go in and sneak around as much as possible and things like that. So.
All right, next we had Sea of Thieves Season 13 for Sea of Thieves. That comes out July 25th. You want to just kind of skip past that one, Sean?
Yeah, we'll skip past that one because everybody knows about Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
It was just nice to see that more additional content is coming. So.
Yep. And then a game I was actually really excited to see some about because it looks pretty cool. Flintlock Siege of Dawn. We've seen this game now 2 or 3 times, but this was probably the biggest look that we've seen. And I don't know, it just plays a bit different than some of the other trailers. It made me more excited. The first trailer I saw, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm out. It's probably not for me. But I don't know. I would give this a go for sure. Like this combat looks fun. It's probably going to be hard as hell. It's Souls light. I don't even really know what that means, Sean. But I don't know. It fun.
Means it's like Elden Ring, but it's not going to spank you as hard.
Thank you for that. That was great. That was really well done. The movement's fun. Like you're seeing right here, you get to be the fox, and then you're back to her, or maybe you're riding the fox. I'm not really sure what's happening, to be honest. But like I don't know. The movement's pretty cool. So yeah, I expected to not be in, but all of a sudden I was like, okay, I want to try this for sure.
Yeah. I'm the same with you. When we watched the first two like trailers of this game, they didn't give much gameplay away. So I was like, is it going to be turn based? Is it going to be, very jump around, kind of like Elden Ring, where you're having to roll out of the way, time your attacks and stuff? Where this seems a bit more actiony than that.
Yeah.
The movement seemed a lot more better. It's one of those where it has me on the rather than being a hard note, it now has me on the cusp of let's see some more of the game. So
yep, for sure, it's coming to Game Pass, Series X and S, PC. Yeah, I
18th.
mean, this is it, Sean. Jay's got to get you're gonna be coughing up money for it. I mean, all these games are like Series X and S, Series X and S.
Yeah, my only issue with this is that she goes away to university in September, and I don't know how much gaming she's gonna getting while she's there, because obviously she's gonna be working and learning. So,
Sean, she's gonna.
If she moans about not being able to play them, then I would for sure dip in and do it.
Well, I don't know. It all depends on what kind of college student she was. I certainly got in my fair share of gaming in college, but maybe she'll be a better student than I was.
But no, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you can pick up a Series S now for pretty easy money, like 150 quite easy. And I'd probably keep the 1S that she's got at the moment, because it plays Blu-rays. It plays Minecraft and Roblox and stuff like that. So Emily and Logan can still enjoy it. So we shall see.
So I would like to point out this is the first actual game that we will be playing in this showcase. The first actual full game, July 18th, 2024, that has a date that we know. I mean, that may change. Like maybe some of these undated 2024s will come first. I highly doubt it, but maybe. But right now, this is the first game we are going to be playing in this showcase. July 18th, 2024. Yep. Excited to play it.
Full game as well. There's lots of DLC kind of stuff. But this is the first full game. And it is an Xbox Studios game. So,
yep. So then this was a shocker, man. We were like, is it? It can't be. No. Is it? I think it is. Like, it was crazy. They dropped. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm sorry. No, first one was Age of Mythology, which I actually thought was Ara History Untold for the longest time, until the end, really.
And Age of Mythology is going to be, I believe, the second game from the Xbox Game Studios that we're going to be playing this year.
Yeah, the second full game. Yeah, there's the DLC.
September 4th.
Oh no, even the DLC for Diablo is after that. So yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I believe you. So there you go. And this is coming out to everything. I really thought this was like coming out to console too. I thought this was a PC only game for the longest time, until Sean told me I was wrong.
Yep. So it's coming to console and it's coming to console and PC. And it's one of those games. Like, I mean, you've played Galactica, which you'll talk about if we get to the dashboard, depending on how long we go with.
I don't know that we will.
But you've played Galactica, and you've kind of said it plays well with an analog controller rather than keyboard and mouse. So whether or not they've took some points from Galactica and stuff like that, and other games like 2 Point Hospital and things like that, and have kind of brought this into this to make this kind of real-time strategy game playable via a console. So
yeah, super fun. Super good. Okay, here's the one where we couldn't believe it. We were shocked. We were like, it can't be. Perfect Dark. Yes. Go for it, John.
So I was blown away by this. This is up there with like what's it called? We just talked about it. South of Midnight. Up there with South of Midnight. Up there with Doom. Obviously, Perfect Dark is an old OG Xbox character that she's returning. I'm quite excited. The gameplay looked great. The first person kind of parkour aspect looked really good. I liked the way that you were espionage style tactical with Assassin's Creed, but then not Assassin's Creed, sorry, like Hitman. But at the same time, you were like, there was fast paced action to it as well. I just thought it was very, 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 very well done. And a nice surprise considering that we all thought this had kind of sunk itself in the water. So
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a great final point to make there. I mean, there was rumors this game was done, that we weren't going to see it at all, and I think this was, instead of having Phil come out and say, "No, Perfect Dark was fine, guys. Don't worry about it." They were like, "Hey, let's just show you that Perfect Dark's fine, and then you'll know."
yeah,
So it seems like,
and then have Matt Booty come out and just make sure that that point was put across as well.
That's right. Yeah. Yep, for sure. So yeah, it looks great. It looks fun. All the techie stuff you can do. I'm completely 100% down. There is no date whatsoever, not even a year. So we have no idea what we're looking at here. You think we're looking at a 2026? If you were to guess?
I don't know, because we saw a lot of gameplay. We saw a lot of action. We saw a lot of bits and pieces. We didn't see much in terms of like cinematic style video. This was all gameplay stuff.
That's true.
Of her, like the running and the parkour, like it had a very good Mirror's Edge feel to it, as well as Dying Light, kind of blended. So I'm not sure. This might be one of those that we get a surprise date later on in the year.
Yeah,
that might be a nice date rather than 2 years away.
Sure, that would be pretty cool. I would be down for that. All right, which one's next, Sean?
Diablo 4: The Vessel of Hatred, with a release date. So this is a DLC to Diablo 4 that seemed very well received across all platforms that I've listened to and watched it on. October 8th, 2024 for this DLC. They were really excited as well when they releasing it, that they were continuing to work towards delivering great content for the game. So
yeah,
and the video was really cool.
Oh, creepy and trippy as hell, just like everything else Diablo does. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because it was at this point we got the warning at the start of the showcase about for mature audiences, because there was going to be violence, and then they made sure that we were aware of that before we saw the lady's arms get split in half.
Yeah,
so.
That's so true. I know you called it too. I was like, they already told us. Why are they doing it again? You're like, this is Diablo, and I was like, okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, and she's strung up, and like from her shoulders and like hips down, she's just splayed.
Yeah. Don't trust this lady whatsoever that's caressing her face. She's not to be trusted. Okay, run.
Oh, so pretty. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm gonna take your arms off.
Yeah, run like hell if you see that woman ever. Yeah, can't run fast enough.
Thing is, though, it went from sweet to dark very, very quickly, and yeah. And as I said in the showcase, like the last time I played Diablo, it was very pixelated, and you were just like hitting skeletons and stuff. This looks like it's took full advantage of.
Yeah, you never. Gen. So you didn't play this current Diablo at all?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. See, I dipped in, and to be honest, like the gameplay is not too bad. Like I'm like, I can do this, but then the cinematics in between the gameplay are very much that. Like all of them, maybe not entirely that rough, but they're pretty rough. Like that's where I was like, if I just skipped the cinematics, I probably could play Diablo, because the gameplay, not too bad. But, ooh, man. All right, Sean, the next one.
You got your baby.
That's right, the next one. Fable gets a serious reveal, like not just some guy with broken glasses, but you get to see some gameplay, some in-game footage. And some of it, like they're calling this in-game footage, man. This looks pretty. I mean, if this is the in-game footage, this stuff is pretty, and it's got the funny jokes. I just can't wait for this game. It's 2025, which I actually pretty shocked. I didn't think that it would be 2025. But it apparently is going to be. I'm like, what do you want to say? Cautiously excited about 2025. I could see my hopes being dashed down the road next year, but for right now, I'm going to enjoy what I know.
Yeah, and I'd like to just take this time to remind everybody that this is a game that got passed around from a developer to a developer, and the other developer that got hold of it and came in to help makes racing games.
I know,
right? So, like, they're doing really well. I mean, like, Playground Games are the guys that are behind your Forza Horizon franchise. So for them to take this on and make it look so good is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely massive like congratulations to the guys at Playground Games for taking on such a large project like this and delivering so far with what looks like could be a stunningly beautiful game and hilarious game to play. They've definitely edged on the comedy.
Yep.
With the retired hero aspect and things like that. So
yes, this game just looks so much fun. Like I just can't wait to play it.
The only thing I was confused about is who do you play? Do you play the woman that we're currently seeing, or do you play the masked character at the end when they say, "Oh, she's back"?
Yeah, I get. So I mean, if it's like every other Fable, right? You are whoever you want to be. So my guess is you're gonna play as the woman, or I don't think you'll have to be a woman.
Which is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just, like you said in previous ones, you created your own character, you paved your own way, kind of thing, and with all your decisions and stuff. I hope they have stayed true to that.
Yeah, and they did talk about the decisions of good and evil. Although you are right. So you just said that. I would have to watch that trailer again. Maybe they're giving two lineage. So Humphrey was the first in that trailer. Humphrey was the first hero who had retired, and you saw some of her escapades. She was his hero, and maybe you're right. Now I kind of want to watch that trailer with sound again, because maybe they're just showing you what you can do with two different heroes, and then the other person kind of walks up, you don't see who it is, and then that's supposed to be you, which would be more Fable-esque, actually. That would fit more with how Fable usually works. So,
yeah.
But I'm excited.
And then I think after Fable, we moved into a little bit of the indie side of stuff. So we had 3 world premieres back to back, starting with Fragpunk, which is coming in 2025. It's not coming to Game Pass. I thought this game looked awesome. It looked very fast paced. I liked the graphic style. I'm excited to see more about this. So,
yes, that's exactly where I'm at. I want to see more about it because it's got that Expedition 33 kind of trailer where you're like, okay, I have an idea, but you guys are crushing cards. It's like it looks like a first-person shooter card game.
I'm expecting that the card game, the card aspect of it is like perks that you can take in to change the environment to your benefit. But how that plays into the rest of the game, I don't know. I like the fast-paced first-person shooter look. It's got a little bit of what's that one that with the panda people where you turn people into coins? I now can't remember.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember either, but I know what the game you're talking about. The coins, yeah.
So it has that kind of look to it, but with a twist with the card-based stuff. So,
yeah. And what's the next indie?
Winterboro, which is the one where you play the teeny little mouse, like the nice, cozy, crafty kind of harvesting game where it's top-down, hand-drawn style, really pretty looking. This has got an early 2025 release, and it's coming day one to Game Pass. Pine Creek Games as well, which are a great little indie developer that are out there at the moment. So,
I think this is the first game in the entire showcase where there's not a gun and nobody's dying. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that might be the only, apart from the next one as well after this. So
it's like a little moment of okay, now that you've seen 1,000 people die, take a moment and enjoy this sweet little video game. No, this looks fun. A top-down, crafty, cozy game, right up my alley. I'm all.
I can see this being on the Switch as well.
Oh,
which is quite nice.
I could see that too. Doesn't the art style kind of remind you of Pentiment?
Yeah, now you say it. Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know it's not our favorite game, but the art style really reminds me of Pentiment. So yeah. All right, I'll skip past a little bit of this. What's next, sir?
The next one is Annapurna's Mixtape, which is coming 2025. This one had me gripped just as the name says, the music behind this was fantastic.
Yes, it was. Shouted out a
Um,
lot of big artists. A lot of big artists from kind of our time, to be honest. Like, I
yeah,
wonder how many
like it
kids are like,
is early
who's this?
'90s, but I liked the art style. It reminded me of the what was that game where you kind of had to cook things and can't
Um,
remember it now.
are you? I can't remember the Indian game.
Yeah, that one. That
Venba? Is
you
it Venba?
possibly,
I
yeah.
feel
So
like.
the art style reminded me of that,
Mhm.
but then you had the 2D kind of side scrolling action jumping part. You had the three dimensional stuff. I think it's going to be a bit of a narrative style game
Oh
as
yeah.
well. Um, so yeah, I'm quite excited for this. This was one of those indies that I think you'll look at it and go, is it really for me? I might give it a go because it's on Game Pass, and then I think you'll really enjoy it. I
Hmm.
think that's one of those games.
Yep. I can definitely,
But
definitely
Joy
see that.
Division, Iggy Pop, some big names on there, and
Yeah.
just how that'll blend into how the game plays as well. I don't know. But
All right. And then we went into a big one for Microsoft, Asobo Studios, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Looks like it's going to be like Flight Sim Career Day, basically.
yeah, and which is fine. We've seen lots of flight sim stuff. They've done the whole Dunes thing. They brought in a little bit of Halo at
Yep.
one point,
Hmm.
didn't they? So for him to go into the work sims, great. But there was a fraction in this trailer that got you really excited because there was what looked like views of you outside of the
Yeah.
plane taking pictures of deer.
Yeah.
So like if they have brought an open world aspect to it, only if it's even if it's in small points, bringing that open world aspect to Flight Simulator is pretty crazy.
Hmm.
So,
I think it's awesome. I wonder, like, is there going to be like a like a storyline or a progression? Storyline's probably the wrong word. A progression, like, okay, I want to be like they're showing like a crop duster here. Okay, I want to be a helicopter pilot crop duster. Like, are you just going to get to do that and be done? That's neat, but like I would like a progression of like, okay, you did it, you've now got like a license, now you can kind of move forward, maybe get new planes, new additions, bigger crops, new jobs. Like, you screw a job
yeah,
up, you
well,
lose it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
make
like
a
a
game
bit
out
like
of it.
a little bit like Lawnmower Sim that you've got to kind of prove yourself
Yes.
to progress further in the game. So you have to do you have to do you start with a smaller helicopter. Well, if you want to play along the line of the helicopter covers, you start with a smaller helicopter on a smaller farm, and you're only looking after a certain area. And depending on how well you're done, and you've got to build a bit of a reputation, be it with XP that you just need to do these missions over and over, a couple of missions and stuff like that, and you can build XP, that kind of stuff. But for me, it
Yes.
was the Red Bull one. Like, do you have to like do trials like a racing sim where you have
Mm-hmm.
to kind of qualify to get through these things and be able to get to it,
Mm-hmm.
kind of have that progression. And I like that. I like if they brought that kind of progressional gameplay to Flight Simulator, which is something that we've never seen before. It'd
Yeah,
be interesting.
I think that would be great. It would kind of be like, it would be like Flight Sim meets Pilot Wings.
Yes. Oh, I love the Pilot
I
Wings. The
did too.
skydiving at Pilot Wings was ace.
I did too, man. I used to love it. So yeah, I could really, I'd be down for something like that. That would be great. Anyway, so that's Flight Sim, and then we have Elder Scrolls Online, the Golden Road DLC. All the DLC will be
Well,
free for a while. This
yeah, and
drops
so
in 7 days.
this wasn't the Golden Road wasn't a DLC on it. And Golden
Oh
Road, I
no.
think, was what they were calling the event where all
Ew.
DLC is free.
Okay, thanks.
And that starts June 18th.
Thanks for saving my bacon. Appreciate you.
That's quite a bit.
Um,
I think they're just celebrating the fact that it's been out for 10 years. So they're doing this Golden Road event where all DLC to try and drag people back into the game and maybe refresh people in the game. So
Gotcha. What's next?
After that was the world premiere of. I don't think, was it Life is Strange, or was it the people that would
Deck 9
made Life is Strange?
Yeah,
Tech 9.
Life is Strange. No, this is Life is Strange. Deck 9. Oh yes, this I have to play. I mean, yeah, I am 100% down for this, and it looks real good.
I mean, if we didn't play it and report on it, the Dads After Dark could probably come after us and give us a slap. So
yeah, as I have said in the showcase when we were doing it, man, they just have a way with this game that is these narrative games that is a tier above anything else that anybody else is doing with narrative games. I don't know.
This is another. This is also another one where I'm probably gonna have to buy another console for Jay because I've got a feeling this isn't going to go backwards compatible.
Yeah,
it was too nice and too pretty and too well made, I think, to fit on an Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Play.
And so if you're interested, if you're like, okay, you can obviously go and watch it, but like she can see her friend dies and she's kind of investigating on the side, and she gets the power to be able to see the timeline where her friend hasn't died and the timeline where her friend has to help her solve the mystery. It is pretty cool.
Like a alternate dimension, Hank, is what she says, isn't it?
Yeah. So Life is Strange, Double Exposure, coming October 29th, 2024. So it's this year.
Yeah.
And yes, you are right, Sean. Xbox Series X and S only.
God damn it.
No Game Pass, by the way, just in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah, which surprises me because the others were on Game Pass, weren't they?
Yeah, for a hot second they were. Not very long, but yeah, they were.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they might remake a deal with that because they did well on Game Pass. So
yeah, I could see something, down the road. But it probably won't be a day one on Game Pass. Obviously, it won't be a day one on Game Pass.
And then the next game had us both stunned because we felt like we were watching a movie. Indiana Jones got a bit more of a gameplay cinematic style trailer, which stayed true to an indie film where there was a comical aspect of it. There was the looks at each other. There was the environmental stuff going off. It was just all comedy as well as action, as well as a bit of serious kind of back and forth between people dialogue wise.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to play this game. I hope the gameplay serves well because the cinematic breaks in it look fantastic. I think we both said that as long as the gameplay kind of flows as well as everything else looks, then we'll be super happy with it.
Yeah. What do I want to say? I just hope the gameplay... I mean, I'm playing this game no matter what. Like, even if the gameplay sucks, the movie that's within it obviously will be spot on to Indiana Jones and will be pretty awesome. I mean, you can tell that just by the trailer. But it would be great if the gameplay within the gameplay that is the video game isn't just like I don't know what, just fluff to get you to the next cinematic trailer, basically, I guess is what I'm saying.
Which I don't think they can do. With the puzzle side of it, they can't just fluff it. There was because they boast that obviously there was the main campaign that you could follow and do the puzzles there, but there were side puzzles all over the place that kind of took you away from the main campaign and gave you other things to focus on. So,
yeah, I'm very, very interested to see how the gameplay is done. But again, it doesn't matter. I'm here for it. I'm all about it.
So next after that, we
and this
got
had the only thing I'll say here, the important thing is, man, and this is a long trailer, by the way. I think I've skipped like 3 minutes forward at this point.
Yeah, it was. I had to remind us to talk about what we were seeing because we both kind of just shut down and was like watching it like it was a movie. So
this is a Game Pass game. We knew it's been cut. Did we know? I think we knew it was coming in 2024. I'm pretty sure we already knew that.
Yeah,
but it's a 2024 game without a date. It's a nervous one for Nick. I don't know, man. These 2024 games without dates, without months even. But whatever. So there you go.
Yep. So next, as I was saying, is Mecha Break, which is coming 2025 with a beta test at 2024. Mecha Break looked like it was a crazy, fast-paced PvP style game where you were in giant robots firing at each other. There was a lot of strafing, a lot of dodging bullets and missiles and plasma and all kinds of stuff. If you liked, I think it was one of those where if you like Ghost in the Shell, you will pretty much love this in terms of gameplay style of how fast things have to be. Looked like it was very customizable. There was a lot of like flying aspect of it, a bit like Transformers style aspect to it as well.
Yeah, you're right about customizable. They showed like 5 different colors, and they were able to like make that you could add to your transformer, all the different things you could transform. Okay, sorry, mech. Sorry, my bad.
It's because I said Transformers.
Yeah, that you could change your mech. Yeah, and it's a PvP game.
Yep.
Coming 2025.
And I wasn't sure if it was coming to Game Pass or not.
Not coming to Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm not saddened by that because I think it's a bit too crazy for me to really get into, but it's one of those that I thought might have done well for people to try and sample.
Grab the beta in August if you want a chance to try it. All right, sir. What's next?
Nothing is forever, which I think I need to remind myself a little bit about this because I'm not entirely certain.
You are not wrong. I was like, what the hell did I just see? Some like crazy monster came down and snapped some dude's neck.
Yeah. I can't remember a lot.
Was I here for this, Sean? Did I take a bathroom break or something? I don't remember this one at all. Oh, I vaguely remember it. Just vaguely.
I'm glad you do.
Dang, that girl just got owned. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I was kind of blown away too much by Indiana Jones and recovering from the fast pace of Mecha Break, or if it was because it was getting that far on in the show that it was kind of like, what is this? Have we kind of got past the big stuff and you're checking time for how much time they've got left before they show us anything else. But yeah, I remember this now looking at the gameplay. It's very Elden Ring like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why I don't remember too much PTSD.
I remember that girl right there. I remember that picture right there with the pink eyes and the pink feathers. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers coming 2025. There you go. 2025. Was it coming to Game Pass? I didn't see. Yes, coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, it's came to Game Pass. And then after that, we got the big Avowed reveal show.
Oh, this looks so good.
I can't remember if Avowed was something that I was interested in from the get-go.
I know I was not interested. Well, I was interested from the get-go, but I was kind of wondering if it wouldn't be for me. But I didn't really know this was Avowed for quite a bit because it just didn't play how I expected Avowed to play. I mean, obviously I didn't really know. I was just what I was thinking. And then as I started watching it, it was like, I think this might be Avowed, and it looks really cool if it is. But yeah, I'm really down to give this a try. There's still a little bit like you're wondering how things are going to go, but I don't know. I mean, it's Obsidian. Obsidian will always have a part of my heart. So, I'll definitely give it a go for sure. And it looks pretty cool.
Was Obsidian grounded?
Yes.
That's where I recognize the spiders from.
Yeah, they
definitely moved that across.
Yeah, they were grounded, and then it's not going to be there. What's the? No, it's not there. They did another big video game that's not in my head at the moment, but it's going to bug me to no end.
I would not even be in. This is what happens when we talk about lots of different games for a long period of time. Everything starts to kind of blur into one.
I'm searching it right now because I'm not going to be able to think about anything until I.
I'm also at a point where I wish I'd have brought an extra drink.
But now you're not sure if you can get up to actually get a drink, even if you wanted
Oh,
to.
I know getting off this living room floor is not going to happen straight away. I'm here for a while. The fact that if you're watching this as a video, you can see my right knee. I've had to like curl myself up to kind of release the cramp that I was starting to get in my right butt cheek.
Oh my gosh! If anybody can save me, please do it. Why is this so hard to find?
No, I can't. I can't play grounded, and
It was a avowed. Oh, they did Pentiment too. Grounded, Outer Worlds. That was it.
out there we go. Okay.
Gosh, it's driving me insane. Well, they've done a lot.
Anyway,
They did Pillars of Eternity. They did South Park: Stick of Truth too.
Stick of Truth was a funny game. No. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, sorry. My bad. We're on. We've been here for a while. Avowed coming out. 20. Here's another one. 2024 without a month. You're killing me, Xbox. But it's coming to Game Pass when it happens. So I'm here for it. Please let it be 2024. Please.
Please. This next game kind of had me stunned, and I would like to see more before I play it. Atom Fall, which has got a 2025 date coming day one to Game Pass. It started out looking like Fallout in the UK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe we'll just start calling it Atom Fallout.
Fallout UK. Well, now I don't want to do that because it's going to take away from the guys that are making Fallout London. But yeah, this looked good. I need more premises to like why the UK looks so dystopian and like what's happening and what am I doing?
Yeah, I mean they even have the mechs kind of look like their version of like the Fallout like
the patrol trucks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's very much Fallouty. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
like, is it open world first person? Is it kind of like on rails? You're going through levels first person. It didn't give us a lot other than it looked like a lot of fun to play, and it had an interesting story to it.
Yeah, it's very intriguing, right? So coming 2025, it's a Game Pass game, so woo, and it's coming to Xbox. Yep. This is one of the few games that's coming to Xbox, not Xbox Series X and S. So there's that.
Which surprises me for how well it looked.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. All right, what's next?
Assassin's Creed Shadows. It took a while to figure out this was Assassin's Creed, but this is not coming to Game Pass, unfortunately. Nope. And it's coming on the 15th of November, 2024. Yeah, it's as most people were hoping. It's set in and around the samurai Tokyo kind of look. Lots of samurai bases in it. Yeah, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm really happy for you. But I'm at the point now where they've made that many different Assassin's Creed games. I can't A, keep up, or B, pretend to be excited by them because they're not for me. I love the first.
I'm totally with you.
Yeah, I love the first few, but it's a bit like Far Cry. Every time they make a Far Cry, and I like, oh my god, this looks amazing. I'm going to try it. I'm going to play it, and then I get into the bare bones of Far Cry, and it's like, go to this tower, climb this tower, look around, unlock the area, go to this tower, climb this tower. And that's what happened in Assassin's Creed. You were just going from point to point, climbing up things, and you were trying to avoid being caught. So it turned into a parkour, like rooftop running game for the first three for me. And
the only thing I'll say is I'm surprised this isn't coming to Game Pass. So wasn't it Ubisoft they made the streaming deal with?
Yes, it was.
I really thought there was going to be some tradesies involved with that. So I'm surprised about that.
Maybe further down the line, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they don't have anything at the moment either, do they? So like, not that at least that we know of. Like there've been no fruits of that labor in that's been made public at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair.
And then I got excited for this one. And this is a 2024 game where 5th of September 2024. We got to see some really, really good gameplay of Stalker 2
Yeah.
coming day one to Game Pass. And this trailer blew me away. Very dark, very interesting. I'm super excited to play. It's the enemies in this, the way you're having to use like the different tech, like the different bits of tech to sense where they are. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
say
very sold on
dark,
this.
and I mean it's definitely got a dark vibe to it. But I will say it's I would say less dark than what we saw a year ago. Like a year ago,
I
that was super dark with the campfire and then like everybody getting I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I like the mixture of the supernatural and the human aspect kind of thing. So,
You
and plus,
mentioned it last time in the showcase about how they like reload weapons and the animations of that. I mean, it's some really awesome animations that you had called out in the
yeah,
showcase.
with the double sided mag where he kind of spun it around in his hand before he put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like funny reloads in games. I like watching those. Like, one of the things I like about Far Cry is like the healing aspect. Everything is really weird. Like, um, but yeah, I liked the reload. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play it through and through. I firmly believe. Not only because the developers and the people that have worked on this throughout the whole Russia-Ukraine crisis that's still ongoing, but they have kind of moved heaven and earth quite literally to develop and
Yeah,
make
for
this
sure.
game. So
Yeah,
yep.
it's and it's pretty. It's definitely that.
Yep. This will be no series. This will be Series X and S only. I'm almost definitely sure about that.
Let's see. I'll go back for you. Yep. Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, September 5th, 2024.
Sorry if all you can hear is me going, ooh, throughout the back end of this podcast. I am seizing up
All right.
big time.
And then we had Sarah Bond, and then we had the
She,
one more thing.
yeah, I'm assuming we're not going to talk about the hardware stuff until after we've talked about this one last big thing.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
So one last thing, Gears of War 6. Pretty much it would have been a shocker if it didn't come out. It was super rumored that it was going to be there. Like I think people would have been crazy. But you know, you don't know if you don't know if a rumor's true until it's true. So this one's true. Here you go.
Yep. And I liked the music that Mad World kind of slowed down and reverbed music that was in the background to it after the fisticuff scene. Yeah, I'm on the fence because I haven't played any of the Gears of War games since like halfway through Gears of War 3. But I definitely want to give it a go to see how it plays. I want to see how it looks.
Yeah, I've kind of thought about trying to play like Gears of War 5 just to get a feel again.
Yeah.
So I got
the bit that kind of turns me away is the linear kind of thing. I don't like linear games as so much. I like to be able to just like, as people have probably noticed with the podcast, we like to go in different directions. I like to be able to do that with a game, like kind of, there's an objective. Ooh, something shiny. And kind of wander off. If you make it linear, I sometimes feel like you're trying to drag me to the end of the game too quickly.
Yeah, and we're assuming this is a linear game, but we don't really know. Right?
I think,
most Gears have been, right?
Most Gears have been, and they're saying that Gears of War ED will be linear as the devs try and focus on the scary moments.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot I did read that. My bad. So this is Gears of War. It's called E-Day. You're going to be able to play it day one on Game Pass, but we have no idea what year that's going to be even. So we didn't even get a year on this
No,
one.
they didn't tease that. They didn't even
Nope.
give a hint. They just kind of said, yeah. I mean, straight away from the green bits, it was all red. So like they were super emphasizing the fact that this was Gears of War with that red background.
Yeah.
With the gear.
So let's see, where is the console part here? Bring up I'll try to find it. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. I'm shocked and excited about this hardware stuff. I'm shocked because they've kind of strayed away from the carbon black Series S model. It seems like they might be discontinuing that as a build and going to this 1 terabyte all white Series S.
Mm-hmm.
Because your Series S is 500 gig, isn't it? It's half a terabyte.
Yeah, so this is interesting. We'll take a hot second here. Is it this one that has the prices? Because that's what I was kind of like. So what's the prices on all this stuff? Like that's what I was confused about when she was talking about it.
So yeah, the 1 terabyte all digital Series S is going to be $350. The 1 terabyte Series X is going to be $450. And if you want like Galaxy Black, shiny looking Series X, which still has a disk system in it, 2 terabyte hard drive, that's going to set you back a sweet $600.
Man.
Long pause.
That is a long pause. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sitting here thinking. So it looks like they've just gotten rid of the like my baby, like the half terabyte, 500 gigabyte.
Yeah, and straight away from the carbon black because the carbon black was a 1 terabyte Series S.
And so now they have the 1 terabyte all digital, 1 terabyte all digital Series X. Man. And then 2 terabytes plus the disk is costing you an extra $150. I don't know, Sean.
I mean, I called the diskless X.
You did. You did. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a big price tag for it.
That's what I was thinking too.
So, I mean, how much would it? How much? You can pick up a Series. I'm pretty sure you can pick up a Series S now for like 150. So if you can pick up a Series S for 150 and extend that by a terabyte, I'm pretty sure you can get those terabyte Seagate things for less. Sorry, a console and the terabyte Seagate thing for less than buying the 1 terabyte. S.
So right now at GameStop, I can get the Series X for $450. I don't understand, Sean. The math isn't making sense in my head. So why am I going to pay $450 for the same thing just without a disc?
Because it's white.
Is this new? Is this? Let me make sure this isn't refabbed or something. No, refurbished. It's $425. I don't know.
So I mean, they kind of.
You're taking out the disc and you're saving me. Okay, so if you pay MSRP price, which there's a lot of deals going on for $450, but it looks like if you're paying MSRP, no, that's a whole bundle. That's got a bunch of stuff in it. It's got an extra controller. Does it have an extra? Yeah, it has an extra controller and everything, and it's $500.
So I will always go to the Xbox website to look at the true pricing of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. But also the true pricing, you need to understand, like, what is it going for in the market right now? Like Xbox might have an MSRP, but the market might be less. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So in the UK now, to buy a Series X, this is just the black standard 1 terabyte Series X, which I've got, is $479.99, so 480. So, and what was the price of the discless one? Because even though it's in US, it tends to be similar. So, yes, yeah, I'm going to be paying £30 less to remove the disk drive
So
and it to be white.
so right now, Sean, I can get the disk drive 1 terabyte carbon black for 450 at Xbox,
Okay.
which tells me. So why am I paying 450 for a 1 terabyte all digital one?
I don't know if they need to alter their prices for that. That needs to change, I think.
Yeah, man. This is not the deal that I was expecting. Let me just
No,
say that. Like, this is.
no. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that people go out and buy this so then I can pick up a cheap Series S for JF.
Yeah, I don't
but
find these to be deals. That's all I'm
no.
gonna say. I don't find them to be good prices or even make sense with what their current pricing structure is. I don't even understand what's going on.
Yeah, and I can't see them bringing down the price either of the current consoles because there isn't a generation leap with these. It's not like they have any better hardware inside. They haven't got any improved, graphic capabilities. They haven't got any improved memory capabilities and stuff like that. You are literally just getting the same console, especially with the carbon black or Galaxy Black Series X. You're just getting the console we already have with an extra terabyte of space, which it doesn't make sense. I would have took the extra terabyte of space and put it in the all digital
Yeah.
because you can soon fill up a terabyte of space on a digital
Yes, you
game.
can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I'll be interested to see what they do with their ending prices.
But what she did share is that they are still working towards the next generation leap in consoles. So
It's going to be the biggest leap ever. It's going to be the first console to ever break $1,000. That's what it means.
Ouch.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's true. I just made that up.
But anyway, off the back of this, we said that Nintendo haven't pulled the trigger yet. However, they haven't gone for the showcase kind of thing.
No, they're now in the mode of like, well, you guys all do you, and then when y'all done, then we'll go and do our thing, so we can have our own moment in the sun.
So I'm assuming, I'm kind of hoping that Nintendo bring a new console because I aren't going to be buying into the hardware for Microsoft. Unfortunately, my Series X is fantastic. It never skips a beat. I don't need a new one. The only way I'll be pulling the trigger on hardware for Microsoft is to buy one for Jay. And even then, she doesn't need the Series X. She still plays. She plays Fortnite and everything, and Call of Duty and things like that on an Xbox One S. So the Series S will be a huge step for her.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think you nailed it. I think there is going to be a bunch of people that buy these things, and I am A-okay with snapping up their leftovers. That's where I'm like, I can't agree any more with you. I could buy a 1 terabyte drive for $150 off of Xbox right now. I bet I can get it even cheaper, like the real like slide it in drive to make it to, not like the not the hard drive type thing that doesn't really accommodate it. So, yeah.
So yeah, what we're saying to people is, if your Series S isn't missing a beat, have a look at the expansion price, and you can have yourself the expensive Series S or a Series X, like digital Series X in a Series S box.
I'm just not getting
probably. Yeah, I mean, fair game. They're doing stuff. At least they're bringing hardware for for the holidays. But it's just not there, and to me that was one of the low points in the showcase. Was like they were kind of showing these things off, and you got the nice graphic of them dropping down and stuff, and I was like, what you've done? What you might as well have just come with us and gone, here is that all digital Series X. So you've got all the power of the Series X, but without the disk drive, and it's $100 less.
Well, to be honest, in the show, it wasn't a low point. I think there was a guy that did the math, and he was like, "Hey guys, I don't know if you know, but these prices, they're not the worst, but let's just leave the prices off of the graphic on the showcase, okay?" Like, because that's what they did. There were no prices on the graphic in the showcase, so it wasn't really a low point in the showcase. It was like, well, okay, I guess we'll get prices later. I guess I should have figured, if the price isn't there, it's probably not a great price. Like that's a pretty like foundational tenant. Like if they don't tell you the price, it's probably not great. So, and I would say, and to be fair, guys, you're getting my like honest first blush opinion. I had not seen those. I had not really like. I put the link in the doc, but had not had enough time to like really pay attention to those prices. So you are literally getting my like first blush, like, these prices suck opinion.
Like, and that goes for the same for us both. I honestly was expecting them to bring out that digital Series X and be like, okay, so $479 for the like $480 gets you the one with the disk drive, and like $380 gets you the one without the disk drive.
Yeah.
So we'll say the price difference is $100 if you want to be able to have the Blu-ray aspect of it. Because let's be honest, somebody who's a Game Pass subscriber is not going to be using that disk drive for a game. They're using that disk drive to watch Blu-rays.
Right. Yeah.
And it becomes a multimedia kind of platform. So let's give everybody this gaming console, which is like up there with the PS5 and stuff like that, for being fantastically brilliant at handling high graphics games. And the showcase shows that, because we're going to get Call of Duty Black Ops 6, we're getting all these fantastic looking games like Stalker 2, all that can play on the console, and it be almost a match for like decent PC graphics. I won't go and say high-end PC graphics, because the whole PC gaming community will probably come after me with pitchforks, but it's there for looking pretty good. So we'll give you all this power to be able to play those awesome games, but you can't have that as a multimedia platform, because you can't play your Blu-ray films and stuff like that you've got a back catalog and things like that. You can't play all those. So let's knock $100 off it. That surprised me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Sean, all in. Here we are. We've been. This is probably one of our longest podcasts ever, when it comes to Game Pass, at least, or when it comes to us talking about Xbox. What I don't know. What did you think of? What did you think of the showcase?
So we've had several discussions. We had a little bit of a discussion at the end of the showcase, and we've had a discussion before we came on air this evening. We've had discussion through text messages. We've had discussions in our public Discord that you can join. All depends on how you want to rate this. If you want to rate this on playable games for 2024, this showcase did not hit the mark for me. They needed to give me more playable games in 2024, or at least with harder dates, sorry, so I knew what was coming up in terms of like a footprint for the rest of 2024. You've given me some great games like Indiana Jones. That's just coming 2024. What's the other one that was a big one? Starfield, Shattered Space is DLC, not a full game, coming 2024. So, Avowed 2024, not like September 2024, not even a month. You've just given me it's sometime in the next 6 months, which, when you consider that the showcase is like the Christmas of the gaming world, I need more for that. But the positive spin on this is, for the amount of games that we got, like we've just sat here and listed for the last hour and a half, 30 different games coming from various sections of the Microsoft gaming studios. So be that Bethesda, be that Rebellion, Obsidian, all those kind of different things. They're all out there. Some fantastic bangers. We've got stuff to look forward to all the way into next year. Like that gives it like a really good like 85 to 90 out of 100 or 8.5 to 9 out of 10. But for playable games this year, 6.5 out of 10.
Oh wow, that was
Yeah.
wow. You went all in on this, Sean. So I will.
This is a conversation we've had.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Sorry to jump in again, but like we went through that whole dry period of like 2020 to 2021 where we struggled to talk about games, and we struggled. We were making content then for Game Pass, and we were struggling to like tell you and be excited for games. Even in the showcase, we were like, wow, there wasn't a lot there. We had a developer direct where we both kind of sat there afterwards and were like, what are we getting?
What was the narrative game we got? We were so excited. It was the one first party game we got that year. What was that narrative game?
As Dusk Falls.
We were like, it's a first party game. It's like July.
Let's be honest, that first party game was pretty good.
It was. It was a good narrative game. That's for sure. Yep. I don't disagree.
And then like we went through, like we had the showcase in 2022 where like they teased Starfield and Redfall and stuff like that. Then like 2023 came and we got Redfall and Halo, Forza Horizon, and we were teased, the possibility of motorsport. Sorry, we've been going that long. I have now serious dry throat. And then like, back into 2023, we got all the stuff for 2024, and we were excited at the beginning of 2024 and the stuff that was coming there. And then now we're kind of at a point now where I feel like we're in that in between of those periods. We've kind of got a great lineup of games to come, but nothing that is concrete in 2024 to play for sure. And having issues in the past, like Starfield missing the date twice, there's that trepidation that are we going to be getting these games in 2024, or are they given 2024 as a loose because it's easy to just push it into early 2025?
Yeah, that's the so reputation is the problem here, and the reputation precedes them as a company who has had trouble hitting dates. And so maybe that's why they don't want to give a date. That's fair, but if you're not going to give one, then that tells me you're a little shaky on it, and so here that's where we're at. You give me so we have Flintlock Siege of Dawn. That's great. We got that in July. Then we do have Black Ops in October. And then I think there's Age of Mythology, which I think is in September. I think that's an Xbox title. I think it is. And then there's a bunch of DLC in and around that, and that's fine. All well and dandy. A lot of it they're throwing in there, like Sea of Thieves, which we all know is going to be there. But the big ones, Avowed, Shadow of Space, and what's the other one I'm not thinking of at the moment? Indiana Jones. Avowed, Shadow of Space, and Indiana Jones. All are just 2024, and that's shaky, man. When you only got 6 months left, if you're not sure what month you're going to bring that game out, and you only got 6 months left of runway to make it, that tells me it's either one of two things. You have a big surprise, which I hope that's the case. And you got a real big plan, and so you don't want to debut that month. That's a possibility. That's like the cherry on top of the ice cream possibility. And then the other one is less rosy, and that's the fact that they just aren't sure they're going to make it, and they don't want to get slated. They don't want to get slighted anymore with not hitting dates, which I can understand. That's a real pickle, man. As Sean said, I'm a project man. I project manage houses, and it does stink. You got people that ask you a date. When is this house going to be done? And you're like, I can give you a date, and if I don't hit it, then you're going to be pissed that I didn't hit it. But if I don't give you a date, you're going to be pissed that I didn't give you a date. And so it's like, hey, man, I feel the pickle they're in, but that's the gig that they signed up for. So if you're not going to give me a date, then I think your games look really cool, but I got to go off of what I know not just what I feel. So that, that's the problem.
The pessimist in me completely agrees with you. The optimist in me is like, they're going to hit 2024, but they just don't know when they want these games to come. So it's like, so do we don't want to overshadow Indiana Jones with our Starfield DLC. So like, how can we structure the timeline for these games coming out so we like maximize the people playing them and also don't touch Call of Duty? Like October 25th, that there's going to be a 2-week period either side of October 25th where nothing happens.
Yeah.
And that's because they do not want to overshadow. Because, they're currently rating saying that the console user count is an absolute record high. So, like, and everybody's super excited. And a lot of people, the whole gaming community is saying that, Microsoft killed this, like, the showcase this year. They aced it. This was like the best one ever. And I can agree with that, with the content that was in there and the stuff that we have to look forward to. But there is still a lot to be said about hitting the dates.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, Nintendo could go out and be like, listen, we're going to give you a Zelda. We're going to give you a Mario. We're going to give you the Donkey Kong. We're going to give you all these things. And we just don't even have to be a date. Don't worry about it. It's going to be in at the time. You don't worry. It's all good. And everybody be like, wow, look at all these things. And you're like, I don't know when you're going to get them. But, they're there. Are they working on all those things? Sure are. So Microsoft just came out and said, these are all the things we're working on. Some of them we think will be in 2025. We think these might be in 2025. I do really wonder, though. I have thought of this. I do really wonder if, like, you got 2 planes hitting a runway of Avowed and Indiana Jones, and they're, like, coming in at the same time. And they're like, I don't know, one's going to be November, one's going to be December. We don't really know which one's going to touch down first, to be honest. Like, so if they're just like, I guess whichever one gets to the flag first, that's the one that goes in November, and the other one goes in December. Like I've thought that's a possibility.
Yeah. So for me, like you look at Stalker 2, 5th of September. So I think there isn't going to be anything a week either side of that. So they're going to have a look at that. Diablo 4's DLC lands October 8th. So that's going to be the last thing you see before Call of Duty on October 25th. Flintlock is coming in July, so you don't really want to touch a right lot before that, even though they have Season 13 of Sea of Thieves. So they have stuff strategically placed where you're getting a little bit of a DLC, then you're getting a big game. You're getting some DLC, then you're getting a big game. So they kind of have that outlined already. So I honestly do believe that they are just trying to coordinate the air traffic in terms of landing those planes at the right time to maximize, people's playability of these things. But like I said, the pessimist in me is like, are you going to land those planes, or are they going to just bounce off the runway and fly into next year?
Yeah, yeah, that was really good. I like that. You're right. Like, the one thing that really, like, you've laid it out as in like, hey, there are games to play, Nick. I mean, there will be games in Game Pass, but this is an Xbox showcase. So let's look at Xbox games. Like, and I mean, Flintlock's great. That's one of them, and I'm excited for that one. But I do wonder, like, where does Shattered Space come in at? Like where does that? Like, everything you've just said, and that might be the thing they're thinking of is like, do we need, like, is Avowed better? Is Avowed or Indiana Jones is one of those better next year, February 2025? Like, and so they're just kind of like, I don't know, maybe it is. Like if you say everything you just said, and you add in and you sprinkle in Shattered Space somewhere, and you put Avowed at the end, and you push Indiana Jones to February 2025, is it the end of the world? But they probably don't want to put that on the thing because that doesn't look very good. So yeah, I think you very well could be right, Sean. They're just trying to figure out the space and how it all works out and how to give everything enough room. It's what happens when you buy a bazillion studios, I guess. You have too many games and not enough time to put them out. Yeah. But give us, I don't know, give us seasons fall 2024. Holiday 2024.
Yeah. It's like I said, there's 4 seasons in a year. That gives you a 3-month grace period to try and fit those games in.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Sean.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And I mean, stay tuned. Obviously, we will give you everything, all the information as and when it comes out. The GPT Gaming News X page will do exactly that too. Any breaking news, any dates, any releases and stuff will be dropping there. So if you are watching us live on X, you already know about our X page. If you don't, all right, watching us live on X, or you listen to this podcast, go and have a look. Go see. There's placard after placard of breaking news coming out at the moment with everything else that's happening outside of Xbox as well, but for games coming to Xbox.
I would like to say one final thing. I am not down on Xbox. I just think the community is super hyped over this, and I hope that they have really taken into account all that they've seen and the placards that came at the end of each of those games. But I am very excited. I think we'll have a ton to play, and even if we play those games in 2025, hell, that's great. Let's do that. I'm fine. But if you want me to rate this thing, I'm an 85 out of 100.
Yeah, we went from reacting to the showcase to letting the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 kind of thing play on its own, and we both disappeared, and it was really funny when we both came back because we were still like, Nick completely forgot we were in the Zoom call, and I'm sat here eating this giant Yorkshire pudding, and Nick comes back with his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and like not knowing if I could speak because I didn't want to like start talking and overshadow the Black Ops thing. So I kind of like sent him a message like, "Yo, what are you eating?" And you look really shocked. But then we had a 20-minute conversation about what we'd seen, and you came in hot and quite stern in like, we saw a lot, but we haven't got a lot to play. And then like we started outlining it and writing it all down in the doc, and you were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we've got like some big DLCs that we're touching on. There is games coming out throughout the year and stuff like that, and there's possibilities that stuff will and won't land." So you kind of came down because you would have been in the same, like if you were just rating it on what we could play this year, you were pretty low scoring it. Mm-hmm. But then when you started looking at the amount of Xbox games and stuff like that, and the stuff that was there that could land, it kind of built up, and you kind of talked yourself around, and I hopefully talked you around a little bit as well. So.
Yeah, no, I would agree, because I was just like, I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot this year. There's a lot of DLC this year, but there's also, if all these games land, there's a sheet ton of games. If only the ones that are dated land, then there's a good amount of games. There's still plenty to play.
Yep.
Sean, take us home. It's 2:15 or 2:30. We're not. It's not 2:15. We've been podcasting for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which I think might be is definitely a record for Game Pass Tracker Show. Might even be a record for our previous podcast as well.
So yeah, this is where I'm now thinking that because we can only upload so much a month, that I might completely skip next week, or I might do a quick like what's out this week, what's out next week, and what's disappearing the week after, and just do a quick audio snippet of like half an hour long, just so we keep within our tolerances that we kind of set ourselves, so we don't bore our poor listeners to death, but also because we like to make a regular size show every week. So yeah, that's it. That our predictions were last week. This is the big digest and breakdown, which our digest and breakdown has ended up being as long as the showcase, so thank you very much for listening for the last 2 hours, but we hope you took some things from it. We hope you enjoyed our opinions and stuff like that. If you didn't, you can shout at me over on X at Sean_Abbott. You can kind of try and talk Nick around to higher than 85% and make him a bit more optimistic. He is at Nick Tendo. That's Nick 10DOH over on X. Again, check out our main channel, which is where the show's gone live and things like that. Our all the breaking news kind of goes there. There's reviews and everything like that. It's GPT Gaming News. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, or you just want to share your thoughts and opinions on the show, you can do by dropping us an email at show@gamepasstracker.com. Don't forget we have our public Discord that's out there at the moment. It's not locked to any Patreon kind of levels. It is fully open for anybody to join. So please do so. We do have a Patreon as well. If you look for us on the Patreon website, you'll find us. You can lock in and join there. I think it's literally like $1 a month at the moment because we don't have many levels, we don't have much stuff going to it. We were just trying to gauge interest. But yeah, massive thank you to all our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to this very, very long episode of our breakdown of everything. Please keep gaming, keep tracking, and until next time, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.